Okay, so as promised, for every $10 that I get donated to my Walk for Hunger walk, or as I said, any charity that, you know, is actually for a force for good, I will read a page of whatever the heck you want me to. So we have two readings, thanks to the $20 donation that I got from Kathy Leamy. And this one is Chef Boy Do Me by Mystic Moon High. And I am going into this somewhat blind. I know that the summary is Chef Boyardee and Steve Rogers get a little bit saucy. And that it's a bit not G-rated. But this is my first time reading this. I just know what line Kathy wants me to end on. Mr. Chef Boyardee was coming home from a long day in the kitchen. He dusted off his apron, which was very dusty from all the human skin particles that make up ravioli. He turned the corner to see his beautiful BF, parentheses, boyfriend, not best friend, Steve Rogers, bent over to pick up the pen he was using to do the inventory for Boyardee Industries, trademark. He looked at the globes of Steve's round, plump ass, like two perfectly formed cheesy ravioli just ready to be devoured. He walked up behind his Steviekins and pressed his already hard up against him. He was still hard because Chef always had to be hard to in the ravioli, which he did sometimes because it gave it an extra zing. "I know you want my Italian sausage," he said huskily. Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, shivered. There wasn't anything more American than Italian food, and it turned him on. Soon Captain America was hard from Chef's meat. Chef immediately tore off all their clothes, turning Steve around to kiss him. He growled against the lips of the man he was kissing, who was Steve Rogers, Captain America. "What do you want, baby? Chef don't judge." "Your Italian sausage," Steve whispered, embarrassed and shy with how horny he was for ravioli. Ravioli is capitalized. "Louder, so all my workers can hear it." "I want your Italian sausage," Steve screeched like a bald eagle. This almost sent Mr. Boyardee over the edge because he had no fucking self-control. Obviously not. He was the inventor of the spaghetti-O's. O's standing for orgasm. And that's not me mispronouncing spaghetti. That's really how it's spelled. Anyway, I think that's enough of that first one. Yes. So this next one, let's see. I have no idea what this is. Unknown Affair by Sheena Wild. Wild with an E at the end. Summary, Jay gets injured on a mission and Kay has to help patch him up. Oh, this is Men in Black. Okay. So Kathy wants me to start from, let's see. All right, here we go. I'm going to have to bandage it properly because it's in a very bad spot. If I only put plaster on it, it'll come down quickly and won't heal properly, Kay said as he took a roll of bandage in his hand and started wrapping it around Jay's middle finger. He had to lean closer for that, close enough that he felt Jay's scent, a mixture of his deodorant and sweat, and he took in a sharp breath of the unexpected rush of heat that shot through his body. going straight to his groin. He almost groaned out loud in annoyance. Wasn't he too old for this? You really gotta hand it to these people. If he'd had to pick one teenage trait, he would have preferred to have no aching joints, not this. Not that he had any say in the matter, he thought bitterly, and took deep breaths while trying to focus on anything but how close he was to his partner. Patching Jay up really shouldn't turn him on, even if it required this proximity. When he wrapped the final part of the bandage around Jay's torso as well, he sighed with relief. That was it. He was done. He could now excuse himself and escape the room, go to the restroom, or anywhere he could silently be alone until he felt calm enough, and Jay never had to know. All done, Tiger, he said in such a calm, matter-of-fact voice that he even surprised himself he managed to sound like that. He took up the used cotton pads he had gathered in a small heap on the bed and brought them to the trash bin, standing in the corner of the room. Kay, could you help me get my shirt on? I don't really want to move my arms around much. It kinda hurts. Jay turned to him, and although his expression was completely normal, he sounded somewhat breathless, but Kay couldn't really focus on that part. He tried to move in a way that his fortunately fading condition wasn't that obvious. It was one of those situations where he was glad for the MIB-issued pants. They were quite a loose fit. Sure thing, kid, he nodded as he slowly made his way towards Jay. He stood in front of him, reached for the clean shirt on the bed, and started unfolding and unbuttoning it more carefully than it was strictly necessary. By the time he was ready, he deemed it safe enough to step close to Jay again and to be able to help the shirt on him. But Jay was still sitting on the bed, watching him, and he raised an eyebrow at him. Come on now, you gotta get up or I can't help you. By the way, Kathy didn't tell me where to stop, and I realized I am reading this until sex happens. Like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, when are they gonna do it? I don't want them to do it, I just know they're going to, and I know that would make for a good end of a video. Not to yuck on your yum, as I heard recently on the Risk podcast, but, you know, not my cup of tea, but I do it for you people. Where was I? Let's see. Kay, Jay said in a breathless voice, almost in a whine, but Kay didn't have time to be surprised by that for too long, because Jay grabbed him by the arm and pulled him down into a kiss. Alright, now we're getting there. A needy, impatient kiss, and Kay had responded into it before his brain could really process what was happening. He dropped the shirt he was holding, and it didn't even matter if it landed on the floor or, due to some miracle, on the bed beside them. He freed his arms from Jay's grip and wrapped them around his neck, moving closer, and groaned into the kiss contently when he felt Jay's arms come around his waist and drag him even closer. I don't know if you can hear that. That is my hamster. Kay couldn't help himself anymore. As Jay deepened the kiss and playfully bit his tongue, he impatiently pushed Jay flat on his back and followed him closely, climbing over him on the bed. There's a bed in this scene, okay. Ow, ow, this hurts. Jay pulled away, face scrunched up in pain, and Kay quickly pulled back, kneeling up on the bed. But before he could get too far and started regretting this whole comma, Jay grabbed him by the shoulder and maneuvered them around until he was lying on his back with Jay draped over him. This way'll do it, he grinned down as he reached to undo Kay's tie and threw it away. Let's just jump ahead to the juicy parts. Come on, Slick. Kay breathed impatiently and hooked a leg around Jay's hips, bringing them closer, then reached down with one hand, grabbing their and rubbing them together. Jay's breath hitched at that. Then he started thrusting into his hand with a growl of pleasure, leaning his forehead against Kay's shoulder. See, isn't that what he wanted to hear? They took up an impatient, unsteady rhythm, Jay grinding down hard against Kay. They didn't say anything aside from the occasional moan as they worked toward their climaxes. Jay came first, crying out Kay's name, and that was what sent him over the edge, too, going limp on the bed as his partner collapsed on top of him, the both of them panting heavily. There we go, there's the main event there. So that was that. Hopefully I've put in enough bleeps to ensure that my future children can still get into a decent school. Feel free to donate to, again, my Walk for Hunger walk, or whatever charity, you know, is worthy. Pretty much anything that helps people rather than kills puppies. And every $10 I will do a reading such as this of your choosing.